Thank you. Like she said, my name is Rob Birt, Designer and Illustration. I specialize in illustration. And when words fail, I provide those visual solutions. Can anybody tell me what this is?
Pen?
A custom.
That is an object for illustrating of change and making ideas more plain and clear.
All very close.
Oh,
This is intent. Okay? And every good design starts with intent. Okay? And that's where I like to start at. It is a pencil, it's a tool, but if you don't have something that basically has a purpose, you're not making good design. You're creating ambiguity, and you're basically using chaos to tell your story. Well, tell me what person wants to be referred to as chaos. Anybody? Right. Okay. So make sure that your designs has intent, and that's where I like to start. But I'm going to go into some of the stuff that I've worked on in the past, and some of the things I do are photo cleanup. This was restoration, and again, one of the things I like to point out is that if you can tell that I did that work, I haven't done my job. All these were cleanups for someone who basically had a bunch of damaged photo. Anybody can anybody tell me the error in that one? All right. One of the things I do is cute and cuddly stuff. I'll just run through a whole bunch of this. That was done for an on-air broadcaster down in Denver. I do political stuff. I do not have a political motivation. I'm a capitalist, I'll design. I also do fine art work. And what I mean by fine artwork is it's artwork that's done by design. Okay, again, you're basically still conveying. There's a difference between art and design. Art is an expression. Design has intent. And usually that means to either sell or provide a story or create a message or delivery, but that doesn't mean that it can't be done in an artistic style or that form of content. The thing that I will actually say that as far as I go, as far as that type of work goes, the more you provide, chances are that cheaper it's going to be, because it's at my level of work. If I'm providing my soul into the content, that means it's actually going to cost you more. Whereas if it's more about you, that's where design comes in, then it's going to be a more cost-effective project. These are done for postcards. That's another piece of art. Sold online. Those are some silhouettes. I also do technical work, technical illustration for like patents. These are all things that end up getting submitted to the U.S. Patent Office. And while my name is not attached to any of these are all my works. Logo design. Logo design is it's a standard for anybody who does graphic design. It's kind of like providing an oil change as far as I'm concerned. And I like showing off this one just because, in all reality, who thinks that this is a logo entirety? In its entirety. This is actually what's called a word mark. This right here, that little compass, is actually what would be represented as a logo, because it's an element that is not distinct by the text that you have going through it. And it can stand on its own as an image that represents this. Okay, that's the difference between a word mark and a logo. So some other ones. Illustration goes into business content all the time. This was done for a security system, and they basically had a whole bunch of hazards coming into their system. With all the threats out there, and having their system protected. Illustrations are also used for tattoos, swag like buttons, covers for binders, books. This was actually a product that goes out to stadium seating, and this is, they actually had to printing these things on the seat that you're actually sit on. Goes on posts for electrical charging stations. Again, swag, phone covers, books, icons, products. Again, marketing materials, t-shirts, more swag, magazine covers, stamps. If you don't know, you can get anything put on a stamp. You can actually have anything put on a stamp now. Explainer videos, short animated type stuff, skateboards. Anybody want to skateboard with their own little stuff on it? Pillows. These are some of my own projects. I love to do sculpture. And work on all sorts of materials. This was one of my. This is one of our kids, and ended up turning him into a zombie that got thrown on a t-shirt. One of my projects was a 7-year black and white online graphic novel and comic that I called The Incredible Unmarked Man. Again, 3D project, personal project a while ago, and this was actually from another personal project, God, it's got to be about 20 years ago now, that got put into a short film. So, any questions? That's, oh, sorry. And then there was last year I got married. This is a map I made for the sign-in sheet. Went in and redid the map, sourced out the locations for where our families came from, redid some of the dragons and monsters that hang out in the sea. Ended up making my own scabbard for going down to the Renaissance Festival. And this was last year's Halloween project. So, anyways, that's me. And I'm going to go ahead and throw it out. What I do. Or is everybody totally confused?
Well, I have a question. If you could, what would be the thing, the activity that you'd spend most time on?
Define that. Because
What drives your spirit?
oh, passion. It's the stuff that I do. It's relationship. It's relationship with the creativity, and basically getting to create something from nothing. I'm as much as people think that I'm a great talker and whatnot, and do the present. I don't know if you've ever heard Robin Williams talk about when he actually stands up in front of a stage, and he basically says, going up here draws so much out of him, but everybody expects him to be on that level all of the time. For me, that's kind of like the same way. Just even coming out here, it's an exercise process for me. So doing this as a form of reaching out to people and communicating with people, this is 10 times easier for me.
So, let me, unless somebody else has a question, I want to refine my question just a little bit.
Okay.
So, would your first love, you say, be creating fine art, doing graphical art in some way, which I make a distinction of commercial design, fine art, and fine art, three-dimensional work?
Let's see. Again, that kind of depends, because the fact that my background, if you actually took my entirety name of what I would actually categorize myself as, is in multimedia industrial artist and visual communication specialist. It's a huge word for making stuff look good. It's a huge, thing. And the fact that I get to do that as a profession and get to convey that my set of skills to people is fantastic, and I would never give that up. I can't foresee giving that up. But if you're going to ask to say whether I'd like to go out and have hamburgers every day of the week versus going out and having a hamburger and then having some pizza and maybe some tacos or whatever, that's kind of how I look at it. So it's not that I don't enjoy the other stuff, but if I'm going to get stuck with having meat and potatoes every day, I'm going to go, oh my God, I can really handle a pizza at the moment.
Spoken like a true artist. All right, thank you. We don't have any time for more questions. Please see Rob after.
Thank you.